Peace, family. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star, and today we're gonna get into this. Should Black people still be blaming the white man for our condition? Right. So, this was a big topic the other day, in some of these social media spaces, and I wanted to harp on it a little bit. Because some people were saying, yeah, we can blame him for our condition, or yeah, we can still blame him for our condition. And some people had a total different view. I want to give my point of view on it. Um, so, should we still blame the white man for our condition? You can blame him for how we got in the condition, but I don't blame him for us still being in the condition. Because I feel like there's so many solutions out there that we can be using and implementing in the community, but I feel like we don't implement a lot of it. Some people are trying, but some people, you have a lot of people in the community who don't want to work together, and at some point we have to say, okay, 'cause I actually heard we have to say, let me finish my sentence. We have to say, who can we build with and who can't we build with, right? Because you can't build with everybody, right? All white people aren't building with all white people. All Chinese people not building with all Chinese people, and the same for every other ethnicity, right? Everybody's not working in a cohesive group, but they are making strides in their particular communities. So as black people, because I heard David Banner say the other day that he's done he's done with the talking, right? He's not doing no more talking about what we need to do this, that, and the third. He's ready to put that work in, right? Because I mean, as you get older, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be about results. Like, what can we do? And again, shout out to brother Tariq Nasheed because he actually got the museum right, and he did a lot of things that people said he wasn't going to do. He had a lot of haters out there who was blocking. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people want to talk, and that's an institution. No matter what people try to say, we don't need a hidden history museum, or we don't need a museum right now. We need a school, or we need a bank, or we need a grocery store. At the end of the day, if you feel as though that we need a grocery store, you need to go do that, right? Um, so, but at the end of the day, we do have to find out who we can work with to implement these solutions, because we actually have a culture within our community that you got a lot of people who don't care, bro. You got a lot of people who don't care about being liberated. They want to hang off the white man's titty, and and really not be a productive member of our community. Some people just don't. It's a lot of individualism going on within our community, and as brother, no, I'm not even gonna say brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and what's the one that Elijah Muhammad, excuse me, Elijah Muhammad, they both said that we got to stop blaming the white man. Even Dr. Paul Anderson even said the same thing. Now, we're not saying that that has nothing to do with us getting reparations. The reparations is a debt owed. I still want my debt. You feel me? I don't have to blame you. You feel what I'm saying? For you I don't have to say, yo, he's the reason why we not going nowhere right now. To an extent, yes, right? He's a hindrance, but I don't believe he's the reason why we not progressing uh, in this society right now, because we have a lot of things that our ancestors didn't have. We have this social media right here. Right now, I'm speaking to a bunch of people. Again, hold on. Let me say this before I even do that. Thank y'all for the people who are subscribing to my channel. I definitely appreciate it. I'm starting to get a lot more subscribers than I had when I was doing this for a whole year. I was barely getting any subscribers. Starting to get most of the subscribers now. So I thank you. Bless y'all. I appreciate all your support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, because we're trying to bring solutions to the community. Again, I got other videos about stocks. I got videos about your credit, how to boost your credit, tax liens and tax deeds, just all type of stuff. Because I'm trying to, I'm not a very well known person. Of course, I don't have that many subscribers. I don't have that many Instagram followers or Facebook followers or Twitter followers, but I'm trying to do what I can do from what I know. And again, that's trying to get the word out there and trying to, support the people who are actually putting the work in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to do what I can do, you know, as much as I can do, right? But again, we have to figure out who we can work with and the solutions that we can implement to put us in a better position to thrive. Because this whole white man blaming and black man blaming and black woman blaming, that has to get out the picture, and we have to start coming up with real live um, solutions in real time, right? So again, we have to have a changing of culture, and I believe that that starts in your household. So again, if we are raising our kids to be basketball players and uh, rappers. If you was to ask the average kid, I'm not saying everybody's kid gonna do this, but I'm gonna say I'm not even gonna say that. The majority, you ask majority of the kids, if you go to these inner city schools and some of these regular schools that's not even in the inner city, talking about in your suburbs, in your little country town, if you ask these kids what do they want to be when they grow up, your average kid is gonna say a rapper, basketball player, football player, gamer. That's something my kids would would like to say, right? Um, it's funny because me and their mom was talking the other day, and we was telling them like, "Yo, listen, y'all only playing y'all games on the weekend, right?" And my one son said he wanted to make a video game. I was like, and he said, "Yeah, I want to start making video games." All right, well, you gonna have to start doing coding and learning how to code to make video games. He's like, my one son said, "Yeah, no, but it's a lot of people making games being gamers." But I'm like, okay, well, you know, but we have to do something better than that. Like, I don't mind you trying to be a gamer and making money off of gaming because I do know some people that's making, hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars gaming. But again, I don't want to put all the eggs in that basket because then when you don't become a gamer, um, now what? You know what I'm saying? And again, because we have to start introducing our kids to, you know, building, electricians, HVAC technicians. You get what I'm saying? Like all these things, again, coders, things that we're going to actually need, engineers, definitely engineers, doctors, dentists. Um, we have to start introducing our kids to something else besides sports. Because I feel like sports is one of these things that is absolutely besides the rap game. I even think more than rap, right? I think sports is almost like what a bigger hindrance than the rap music, right? Because um, what I see from a personal standpoint, our kids are okay. Kids are listening to music, but even more than listening to music, when I go on social media, I see a lot of parents have their kids into sports every single year, and it's just like, okay, do your kid like, do your kids play instruments? Do your kids play instruments? Do they, you know what I'm saying? Are they going to any type of, you know, what's them schools with STEM programs, things of that nature. So it's just like it's a lot that I believe we can do to try to change the culture, which in that way will try to help some of the solutions. Because again, we have to get our kids on this B1 Black First um, type of agenda because we got a lot of Uncle Toms and Sanders, what I mean, that be running around in our community, which is again is another detriment. Matter of fact, speaking of that, I want to show this video about reparations and how this is how I know that reparations is definitely coming up the pipe. And again, if we change the culture when reparations do come, because a lot of people's a lot of people's right with reparations is that we're going to waste it, right? Again, this is a debt owed, so you can't tell somebody what to do with the money that they're owed, right? So if I owed you $100, I can't say, oh, I'm not going to give you the $100 because you ain't going to do nothing but go to the bar and drink it up. You know what I mean? Like that don't have anything to do with you paying me my money back. what I'm going to do with the money that you owe me. So again, but I'm going to show this video. I'm going to break it down, and also it like this is another reason of having the B1 mindset, because the person who's interviewing this female um who's absolutely nuts, right? She's absolutely nuts. He didn't even challenge what she said, and she said something that was absolutely bizarre. So let me get into this video and share this real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Um Here we go, right here. Don Lemonade. So let me back this up to team this so you can hear the whole thing. Here we go. You have all of this vast wealth. Those are legitimate concerns.
Well, I think you're right about reparations in terms of if people want it, though, what they need to do is you always need to go back to the beginning of the supply chain. Where was the beginning of the supply chain? That was in Africa, and when across the entire world, when slavery was taking place, which was the first nation in the world that abolished slavery? First nation in the world to abolish it. It was started by William Wilberforce, was the British in Great Britain. They abolished slavery. 2,000 naval men died on the high seas trying to stop slavery. Why? Because the African kings were rounding up their own people. They had them on cages, waiting in the beaches. No one was running into Africa to get them. And I think you're totally right. If reparations need to be paid, we need to go right back to the beginning of that supply chain and say, who was rounding up their own people and having them handcuffed in cages? Absolutely. That's where they should start. And maybe, I don't know, the descendants of those families where they died in the high seas trying to stop the slavery, that those families should receive something too, I think, at the same time.
It's an interesting discussion, Nori. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's an interesting discussion. We'll continue to. That's all he had to say about that BS that she just spewed, saying that the Britons, the people who stopped slavery, should be the ones who get the money first, not the actual people who were enslaved, right? Now, do I feel like the Africans owe us for selling us? Absolutely. But again, yes, they were actually running on the in Africa, grounding us up. That's absolute BS right there. So again, this is why we have to have our kids growing up with a B1 mindset, because someone like that can ultimately undermine our community with the mindset of a Don Lemon. We don't want our kids growing up like Don Lemon. When somebody says something outlandish like that, like the people who actually slaved us, but were the first people to stop it, they need to get reparations also. No. You can't start a problem, then come up with the solution to the problem, then want to get compensated for the solution after you started the problem. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't start a war out here amongst black people and then come in and fix the problem and then be like, yeah, y'all need to give me the key to the city. Nigga, you started the war. You get what I'm saying? So like again, having people like that in our community is detrimental. Again, which is why again the culture of how that's why I say it all starts in the household, right? It starts in the household and it actually starts with I think that every kid on the planet that's black, right? FBA, because I don't want to talk about any other cultures right now for the most part. Even though, I'm not even gonna say I don't want to talk about any other cultures. I feel like any other culture that's down to build with black people, um, we welcome them, right? We welcome anybody that's down to help us build and build our community up, right? Um, but again, from history, nobody's trying to do that, right? So again, so at this point, we have to think logically, right? So for hundreds of years, everybody just sat back and watched us get dogged and never helped us build up our own situations, right? Even when we did build up our situations in Tulsa, Texas, North Carolina, and we had all these thriving communities. I heard they have a woman coming out that did a lot of research on Texas, and after I want to, I'm definitely as soon as I find that information, I'm definitely going to do a video on it. But I heard that they had over 500 thriving communities over there, just in Texas alone, black communities. So again, we do get sabotaged, and that's another reason that I would never say that the white man isn't the reason that we're in this condition. They're definitely the reason that we're in the condition, but I don't want to blame them for um, us not being able to thrive right now in real time because we can. And every black kid should absolutely have to read Powernomics and Black Labor, White Wealth, the color of money. It's the color of law. Um, it's a lot of things that is not taught to us as black people, and the only way that our kids are even going to get that information is by us teaching our kids this information. You get what I'm saying in our households? Because if it's not being taught in our households, they're going to grow up thinking that um, yeah, this is a colorless society, and it's really not a colorless society. So at the end of the day, yeah, we have to change the culture within our community to be able to even implement these solutions with one another, right? Because a person can have an idea to build institutions. Let me show you another video, family, because I wanna get into this because this is the type of self hate that again we have to get out the community and shout out to brother because I don't sometimes I don't think it's in malice. I just think it's in the simple fact that a lot of people have gotten over on the community and we just don't trust anybody anymore. But again, shout out to Tariq Nasheed. But let me show this video. I'm gonna show two videos, right? So I have, that's not the video. Hold on one second, family. One second. Um, right here. I think it's on. I think I got it through here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. See, he was actually, and he said scamming and getting $1 million from the museum. So that was brother right? Again, there's a lot of people scamming the community. So I just feel like maybe that's where he's coming from. But again, we have to start supporting each other. That's why I said, please, brother, get this museum up. I can't wait. There's a couple other people in the community that was talking crazy too, and why can't we just support each other? Shake my head. So this is actually today. This was actually posted today by Brother Tariq. That we just purchased out here in Los Angeles. So we are at the museum spot that we just purchased out here in Los Angeles. Beautiful space, man. Beautiful, beautiful space. This is the museum space. We're gonna put a lot of good stuff in here. Some of the stuff that you see is not going to be in here, but we just got the place, man. We officially own this building here in Los Angeles on Jefferson. Man, great space. Nice outside. We're going to have some stuff going on outside here in the back. So we got some stuff in the back, and we're going to have some outdoor events and all that stuff happening. So this is going to be real fly. So y'all stay tuned. All right, so we are happy. So yeah, so he wanted to get in the museum. Congratulations to that brother. He definitely you know, again, we do need it because the other museums that they do have, they're trying to throw in again the Latinx people. And again, no disrespect to the Latinx or to the Latin community or the Hispanic community or any other people community. No disrespect, but at the end of the day, we cannot allow people to whitewash or Hispanic wash or African wash or whatever, our FBA history. So again, this is why we do need things like this. So, our kids can actually go to a real museum built by us, for us, by us, right? FUBU, for us, by us, so that they can learn the true history of our people and what's actually going on, right? Because when you don't know the true history, um, you really can't build anything. When you go to the doctor needs your history, right? Your history to see what he can actually do for you right now, right? He can't just do stuff for you right now and he don't know your history. He don't know that 2 years ago you took Tylenol and you had a bad outbreak. He needs to know that. Again, this is why every time I just watched somebody on YouTube, not on YouTube, but on social media, on Facebook, they had a post up that said, I need to grow up. I keep telling the doctor that I don't drink and smoke, right? Again, that was a funny meme, but it's true because I used to be like 30 years old telling the doctor, like, yo, I don't smoke and drink. And I was really smoking and drinking at the time. I don't smoke and drink now, but you know what I'm saying? I was saying, yo, I don't do it, even though I did. But again, this is vital information that he needs to know if you were a smoker or not, or if you still are smoking. Okay, if you don't smoke now, when was the last time you did smoke? Again, he needs to know your history to cure what or to fix what he's trying to fix in you right now. So again, we do need to know history to try to solve the problem now. Again, that's why Dr. Claude Anderson wrote the book um, Black Labor, White Wealth, to show you how we got in this condition, to show you where all the wealth and stuff went and why we are in the condition we are in today. Because the only way to fight exactly what we're going through now, the oppression we're going through now, is you have to know how we actually got in this position, right? So again, integration got us in this position. Probably one of the biggest things that got us in this position that we are in. Because right after slavery, on the whole segregation situation, we actually came up. Because when you really think about it, 1865 to 1920, right? Well, 1920 is when Tulsa got burnt down. So from 1865 all the way to 19, let's even just say 1900, like that was like a 50-year span where black people got it together like that and was thriving because it was segregated and we had to support each other, right? So we want to we have to get back in that mindset. And again, segregation doesn't mean that you can't have your white friends, right? A lot of us have mixed families now, so it's going to be impossible for you to just be like, "Yo, I'm not dealing with you," or I don't. I'm over here, and we not messing with white people at all. That's not what segregation is about. Segregating is segregating our resources, separating our resources from yours, and using group economics and pulling our resources together and keeping it within us, right? Chinese do it all the time. They got Chinatown, but they're not saying, "Yo, white people, we don't mess with y'all. Y'all can't come. You can't come in here and build. You can't come in here and put no store here. But you can come here, and we're not going to sit here and hate you, right? But we are going to pull our resources together and build up our own community by ourselves, and only us are allowed in this certain area." So again, pulling our resources together, because this is about solutions now, right? We have to start implementing solutions. This is 2022. We know voting isn't working, right? We know integration isn't working, right? So we have to try to buy businesses. They own 98% of all the resources in America. So at some point, we have to start teaching our kids, yo, you have to buy land, right? Land is the most important commodity in this world. They're not making more land, right? So we have to buy the land. Again, I always say this: anything that's made in the whole world, from the satellites, everything we're using right now, for you to be able to be on this internet and for you to be able to the laptop or the phone that you watch this off, or the TV that you're watching this on, is made from the earth. The resources that come from the earth is how we'll be able to make all of this stuff. So again, the biggest commodity on the planet is the land. Um, and we have to start implementing these powernomic concepts to our kids so that they learn to work together. They learn to say, oh, I have to buy black. I have to be black first, right? This is something that this is something that gets implemented in Chinese communities, Spanish communities, Indian communities, Arab communities, all these communities, white communities. These are all these communities implement this, even though it's not outspoken as much as we speak on it, but it's not outspoken. But they already have a code. They have a code of conduct, as Dr. Claude Anderson would say. They have a code of conduct that black people need to implement. The Jews, you feel what I'm saying? See, the Jews got reparations, but also after they got reparations, they actually pulled their resources together, gotten industries, and supported one another, right? So again, we have to learn how to work with one another. But again, I feel like if we teach our kids this, because my generation, the generation older than me, probably the generation that's a little bit younger than me, we grew up off um, individualism, right? A lot of us are very individualistic, right? We like to do things on an individual level. We don't want to bring anybody in, right? Unless they're up, right? Unless I can use you for what you got to build myself up. I'm not really trying to build you up. I'm trying to use your resources to build myself up. And once I get up and I don't really need you anymore, I just, I throw you to the side until I need you again. That's the type of um, culture that we have right now. Which again, if we start teaching the kids, because maybe some of this won't happen with us, and sometimes we have to be what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, family. We can't be selfish, and sometimes we have to just say, yo, you know what? I'm looking for the next generation to really get out of this situation, right? Forget me right now. I'm trying to implement this for the next generation so that they can come up and that they can realize what's going on, right? So again, we have to change the culture. We need to teach again. The schools are crappy, right? They're not teaching. Uh, they're not teaching stocks. They're not teaching real estate. They're not teaching credit. You feel what I'm saying? They're not teaching anything. They're not teaching you how to be a homeowner. They're not teaching none of this stuff that you are really going to need in society today, right? So, again, these are things that we have to learn and we have to try to teach our kids on whatever level or whatever. Like, again, a lot of these after school programs, instead of having after school programs and having all these things where kids can play, not saying that kids don't need to play, but everything doesn't have to revolve around sports that we implement programs for. Shout out to Dr. Mayat and them who got a STEM a school for STEM and things like that. But we have to start going to these local recreational centers and start having classes for coding, classes for stocks, classes for real estate, and have our kids start learning outside of school. And it doesn't have to be all day. You get what I'm saying? Maybe they can do an hour or two, 45 minutes to an hour of learning some of that stuff. And then, y'all can teach them how to play basketball or whatever, whatever. But again, what you do most is what you do best. So if they're playing basketball, you know, 90% of the time, they're probably going to be a good basketball player. If you're in the library 90% of the time, you're probably going to be a good scholar. So again, We want to put in front of our kids what we want them to do most. What do you want out of your kids? Of course, you want them to be successful, but if success comes with individualism, that doesn't help our community. You feel what I'm saying? And again, we're not going to be able to bring everybody. So again, this starts in your home and then it branches out to the community. Because once our kids start saying, oh, you know what? I need to buy black. Oh, I need to start a business. It's not always just get a job. I need to learn what I learned. I need to learn how to be an electrician and then start my own electric company. And then, I need to learn how to be a construction worker and then learn how to build my own houses or build buildings or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But again, if these things aren't implemented and people who know this type of knowledge, right, we need to be the ones to, have outside things. Again, everything we all know things need money, but sometimes you just gotta put that work in for free, man, until the money comes. You feel what I'm saying? If you just do things from your heart and do it out of the pure generosity, um, and things will come back to you, man. Things will come back. Maybe the money going to come later on down the line, but if we want true liberation, we are going to have to work as a group. We're going to have to pull our resources together as a group. And a lot of people don't like to hear that because a lot of people, again, have that, oh, this is a scam. This is a scam. This is a scam. Everybody's with that scam mentality that they think every black person who's trying to do something is a scam. But bro, we live in a capitalistic society. You ain't going to get too much done without no capital. Really not. Not saying you can't get anything done, but the big stuff that needs to be done ain't going to get done without no capital, man. It's just not. You feel what I'm saying? And we can't be mad when someone has the when someone has respect in the community enough that people rely on them or rely in them or believe in them to give their money to them. We can't be like, oh man, you got $1 million, you got $200,000, you got yeah, and the community gave it to him because they like what he do and they like what his plan is, right? You make a plan and you ask for donations. You get what I'm saying? Again, I just heard Boyce Watkins say today that he said Apple wasn't built by itself. Like the $2 trillion company, that's a $2-3 trillion company. You think there's one owner of Apple? You think he did all that by himself? You think Jeff Bezos built that 100, 200 multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar Amazon? You think he did all that by itself? No. Microsoft, any of these things, man, they didn't do this shit by themselves. Y'all crazy. All this stuff was done with groups of people. You are crazy if you think that these biggest companies like Walmart and all this stuff, even Walmart, like they got a family of people, but even they had to get people outside their family to help with that also. You're not going to listen, man. We need solutions. We're not going to keep blaming the white man for our condition and for us not progressing. Yes, the white man put us in this condition. Absolutely. His his racism, his institutional systemic racism, yes, absolutely put us in this condition. But we have the mind power and the drive and the know-all to get ourselves out this position. We just have to change our culture, change our mindset. You got dudes out here running around killing people for change. You feel what I'm saying? You have people out here selling drugs that don't need to sell drugs. I was one of them. I was one of those people that used to do that. I didn't need to sell no drugs. My parents didn't raise me, and they still together. They was together before I was even born. They was married before I was even born. Forget just together. You get what I'm saying? I didn't need. I grew up in a nice crib, nice, well, you know what I mean? And again, between the music and the influences, when I was going to outside to play basketball every day, because I wanted to be a basketball player, right? And again, um, I played all the time, all day, and I was super nice at basketball, right? But once that hoop dream got shattered, yo, that shit shattered my whole being for a nice while. I didn't know what I wanted to do after that. I'm like, man, fuck college. I only wanted to go to college to play basketball. You feel what I'm saying? So again, this is another reason when somebody asked me today, was like, man, why your boys be playing? Because I was that nice that they like, man, I know your kids won't be playing basketball. I'm like, nah, dog, I barely ever take them out to go do some sports, like for real. Because I don't want to put that. I don't even want that energy around them. That's what you think you just going to be doing all the time. Because then when it don't work out, then you're going to be like, oh, what am I doing next? Because that's exactly what happened with me. You get what I'm saying? So again, I try to implement. And it's hard because they're really young, but I just try to keep implementing stocks, real estate, real estate, doing, creating a job. I mean, creating a business. I try to implement that in their head, so they like, oh, that's all Dad talk about. 'Cause even my kids now, my kids be like, uh, the blacks, like they know I talk about black issues. I remember my one son was like, white people don't like us. And I said, nah, not all white people. But I said the top white people, the top 1% definitely don't like you. You're gonna have some stragglers who don't like you either, but the top 1% don't want to see you do good. Right? And that's the truth. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat nothing. You gotta know what it is when you out in this world. So when you start seeing little things, you're gonna say, oh, Dad was telling me that they don't really rock with us like that. So now when you in school and you start seeing little racism, uh, drips of racism start coming out of people that you didn't think was going to come out of it. Remember, my son went to his class. This was not even too long ago, right? Because my sons and them been homeschooling pretty much since they started school. Like my son Jaden's in second grade. He's never been to the actual school because when COVID happened, he started kindergarten and he'd been homeschooling, right? My son Willie went to kindergarten, and then after that, first grade, COVID started. So he's been, and I said, "Bud, he went to there. He went to the school not too long ago to take a test, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "You made some friends?" He said, "Well, yeah, it was some a friend." He said it was a couple people from my class last year that was in there. He said, "But I only made one friend." He was kind of sad because he wanted to make friends, right? So he's like, I said, what's your friend's name? He was kind of scared to tell me. I was like, oh, this little black kid? And he was like, no, he's white. I was like, man, it's okay. I said, all white. I told you, all white people not bad. And he kind of cheered him up. I'm like, yeah, don't. I said, yeah, like, like all white people. He almost was scared to tell because he know that I talk this black stuff so much. You feel what I'm saying? That he like, man, listen. I'm like, nah, you ain't gotta be ashamed of having a white friend. You can have dad got white friends. You just don't see me around them, but I do have white friends, right? But again, like we have to implement to them that you know, being black first, right? Being black first, and you have to buy black products, and you have to do things that's black. Like I remember we went to Juneteenth in Atlanta. They had a festival out there. So, man, there's so many black people out here. But what? We was deep. We was deep. And he's like, man, this I never seen as many black people in one spot. Again, right? These are things that they need to see early, like early, and have that mindset of, yo, we have to move this way. Because again, it's the next generation. Our generation got hit with that culture of BS, right? That rap culture, that drug, shoot 'em up, bang bang culture. Like again, they was pushing a lot of stuff on. They pushing a lot of stuff on them. But I'm gonna be honest, more of the kids now they pushing that LGBTQ agenda on, right? And again, I don't care what you do in your bedroom, but I'm just gonna say that agenda is pushed on us for a reason, right? pushed on us for a reason because you want to stop procreation. So again, we have to adjust and show our kids why we don't want you doing that because we need you to keep procreating. And this is his plan to end your race, right? So again, we in this for solution, family. We have to be solution oriented. Other than that, we're not going to go nowhere, right? We're not going to go nowhere. You need to find 6 to 8 people. Again, the honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad always said that you have to have 6 to 8 like-minded people and pull your resources together and nation build. Again, I don't deal with religion. I'm not Muslim. I'm not Christian, but I will take um, anybody's information that's correct. Even you see, I got the KKK people in the back. If a Klansman came to me with pivotal information that can move the needle for my community and my family, I'm taking it. Crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. If a KKK dude came up to me right now and was like, yo, this stock right here, and we broke it down, like, yo, this is why you need to buy this. Make sure you do. Or like, yo, they got some land over here. This is the way you get it. Go to the land bank, sign this, do that, do that. He came out. You think I'm not gonna take that information because he's a KKK member? Crazy as hell. But I'm taking information from anybody that's progressive and that will help my plight and my agenda of what I'm trying to do. Right? I don't have to be his best friend. I don't even have to kick it with him after that. Right? But I will take that information and implement it um with my family and with my community. See what I'm saying? So again, family, we not off this let's blame the white man for our condition right now. Yes, we can blame him for how we got in the condition, but we're not going to blame him for the condition that we're actually in, right? Excuse me. So we're not going to blame him for the condition that we actually in. We are in this condition that we're in right now because we will not implement solutions with each other. We don't want a nation build. We have a very individualistic mentality that we have to get up out of, and yeah, we have to get up out of that. This is my kids right here, Kim. So listen, I gotta go. I gotta FaceTime my kids before they go to bed. Uh, Thank y'all again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you for your support. We appreciate everybody that subscribed. It's a blessing to come on here and share my little bit of knowledge that I do have. And anybody that wants to build and got any type of solutions for the community, drop it in the comments and drop where people can find you to drop anything, bro. If you got a website, any of that, man, drop it in the comments so other people can see. That's called marketing, advertising. I don't care what you listen. Do what you got to do to help build the community, and again, it starts with the kids, and we gotta change the culture of our community to be able to start building. And we got a nation building. Again, land, stocks, real estate, anything that's financially beneficial to our community. Aggregate them resources and use it to better one another. All right, family, y'all be easy, man. Make sure you hit that like button too. We out of here.